Hi everyone, my name is Priyanka and welcome to my vlog. Today we are going to talk about how unexpected things are going to happen in your life when you let go. Now, what are we talking about letting go? You are going to ask me, what can I let go? So, here we are talking about letting go of everything that's holding us back, about letting go of those emotions that we have buried deep in our life, the emotions that do not serve us in any way or form. We have to let go of the past, we have to let go of that pain, we have to let go of the emotional turmoil, and we have to let go of all the negative thoughts that we've been thinking in a life till now. So you'll ask me, oh, what's going to happen if I let go? I mean, nothing much is going to happen in my life. I mean, I've tried letting go of my old pattern of thinking. It worked for a while. I did try it, but then I'm so comfortable being in this area of my life. I like to sit and wonder what went wrong in my life. I love uh, to be in a place where I must pay attention to all the wrong things happening in my life, because that way I get to learn a lot. Yes, you just simply use the excuse of trying to learn from all the wrong things that are happening in your life, but do you really learn from it? Or you just wallow in your pain? You simply sit there and you simply allow yourself to cry and never get over it. Even after you've cried or shed buckets of tear, how many of you have really let go? Because let me tell you that a lot of people, what they do? They pretend to let go. So that's what happens to most people. They pretend to let go because letting go is the most pretentious thing they can do in this life. Oh, they'll tell themselves, they'll fool themselves. They know that they're not letting go of the pain that they've been feeling for so long. No, it's very tough, because they feel that this identity that they have created in this life comes from all the areas of their life that have never worked out for them. And that is a problem. You are identifying with that pain body, you are identifying with that ego self, and now it's very difficult for you to leave that ego self. That is what ego mind does to you. It allows you to wallow, and you need to be in that place where you feel miserable. Because if you're not feeling miserable, then what are you feeling? Because you're not used to feeling great about your life, you're not used to feeling happiness. You're simply used to feeling a certain way, and now you're so hooked onto that feeling that it's very difficult for you to feel anything but misery. You don't know what happiness is like. You pretend to be happy, you pretend to act normal, you pretend that everything is great in your life, yet you're miserable because you are so used to pretending to be somebody that you're not. And it's very difficult for you to feel a level of ease and well being. But today we are going to change. Today we are going to understand how that abundance is going to come into our life, because so far we've been looking at life a certain way and that is not working out for us. So, how do we go about it? Basic thing that you've been missing in your life is that you have not really paid attention to the rhythm at which you're operating. So, you are operating at a very low frequency right now, and you are not operating at the rhythm at which the universe operates. There is a rhythm to life. You see it in nature around you, you experience it when you're sitting under a tree and looking at the birds and just feeling that wind on your face. A gust of wind comes in and you feel that on your face and you feel wonderful about your life. You look at a flower with such beautiful colors, you smell that flower and you feel great. You feel that, nanosecond of abundance that's ready to be tapped in. But you only feel it for a little while, and then you will look at life that's happening around you. Your phone rings, and you see the person who's calling you, and you have always associated this person as somebody who's always irritating you, who's always manipulating you, and there, that's it. You leave that feeling of abundance that you had been feeling while looking at a butterfly that's fluttering by, and now you've just let go of that feeling of abundance. Now you're tapping into a rhythm that's not in tune with this nature. It's not in tune with the divine consciousness. Now you're tapping into that well of misery and darkness, and then you blame everybody around you and you blame yourself, and then you are in a rut and you're not able to come out. But you have experienced that rhythm, you have experienced it, and if you've not experienced it, then maybe it's time for you to sit under a tree and look at butterflies fluttering by, because this is a great season to look at butterflies. They are having a gala time in a park. Go and sit there and look at the flowers are in full bloom, and just see how nature is living in the now, living in abundance, living in tune with that rhythm of divine consciousness. Maybe you've just been missing out because you've been paying attention to unwanted things in your life. You pay attention to your bank balance, then you pay attention to that partner who's not paying attention to you, then you pay attention to traffic jams. You pay attention to all the materialistic things that you don't have right now, and that is why you're not in tune with the divine consciousness, because you're paying attention to all the wrong things. So it's time for you to bring that focus back into your life, to look at that fine tuned, rhythm. Just to look at it, just feel the abundance. Because if you keep on sitting in your houses and keep on scrolling those phones of yours, and yes, I'm also on YouTube, and yet I'm suggesting that you stop watching, you know, your phones for a while and step out and just feel that abundance and joy that nature has to give to you, because there's a lot of abundance floating around you, and yet you don't want to look at it, you don't want to feel it. So you have to feel that abundance to really understand what you've been missing in this life of yours. You might have a lot of money, you might not have money, you might have the right partner, you might not have the right partner, but at the end of the day, are you really tapped into that abundance? Because that abundance is going to make you feel beautiful and wonderful. And it's for you to tap into. As a human, you have to experience that abundance, but you don't want to experience that abundance because you don't know about it. Even though you experience it, when you see a butterfly fluttering by, but then you let it go and you become too human and you just look at things from human perspective and you forget that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. And this is something that Dr. Wayne Dyer keeps on talking about. It's his quote that you are a spiritual being who's having a human experience, but you forget that. So, what is abundance? Abundance is all about feeling that richness of life. Now, it's not just about money. Yes, abundance is money, but money is one aspect of abundance. The other aspect is feeling rich in your relationships, feeling amazing in this body of yours, feeling amazing mentally and emotionally. And this abundance can be tapped into if you start paying attention to your thought process. Now, most of us never pay attention to our thought process. We think that, we're thinking certain thoughts and it might not impact our life, but thoughts impact your life, they impact your body, because whatever emotions you're feeling, you feel them physically too. So if you're feeling fear or stress, you will feel it in your gut, or you'll feel it in your heart, you'll feel butterflies, or you'll feel this tightness or knot in your stomach. Don't you experience that? You experience stress, you experience all the emotions that you're feeling, and yet you don't understand that everything that you're feeling is coming in from your thought process. So this is where we are going to change our thought process. We are going to feel the richness of our life. We're going to look at our life and we're going to feel all of the things that are there for us. So if, let's say, you have some really great things in your life, you have a great partner, you have a healthy child, or you have a healthy body, you just bless yourself for that. Because what's happening to most people is that they stop blessing their life, they stop blessing themselves, they stop looking at the things that are really working out for them in this life of theirs. They just look at the things that are not working out. So if you don't have money, or if you don't have great clothes, or if you don't have a great car or a great house, you simply focus on those areas of your life and really If you're simply focusing on these areas of your life where you say to yourself, oh, I don't have good clothes, or I don't have money, or I don't have a partner, I'm very lonely, any area of your life that's not working out for you, and you simply end up focusing on that, what's going to happen is you are going to lose that precious energy of yours just focusing on that. Whereas you could have spent energy on trying to build yourself up by simply changing your focus now. If you just keep on cribbing, do you think the divine is going to help you? Or that abundance is going to come your way? It's not going to come your way because you've been complaining for so long. But if you start blessing your life, things are going to move in an unexpected way, and you can experience the magic. You can experience wonderful things happening your way, just that you don't want to experience it. You don't want to look at things from a divine perspective. That divine has helped me out till now. He has given me so many things in my life. It's just that I have been focusing on things that have not worked out for me. But if I end up focusing on things that are working out for me, I might just bring in some divine, abundance in my life. Have you ever seen stagnant water? Let's say I make this tea and I don't drink it, and then I keep it in the scuff for 10-15 days. What's going to happen to my tea? It's going to stink up. It's going to become stagnant, and I might just end up throwing that mug altogether because it's going to smell like anything. And that's exactly what you need to do. You have too many stagnant emotions, too many stagnant thoughts that are not helping you out, and you've been focusing on these stagnant thoughts of yours, and you've been telling yourself, oh, this doesn't work out for me. I don't have this. I don't have a great partner. I don't have money. I don't have great looks. I mean, what all negative things you can think of, you think about them. You keep on thinking about these thoughts on a loop. You wake up, then you go to sleep, and you simply keep telling yourself, I am lacking in so many areas of my life. But if you start focusing on the areas of your life that are working out for you, then maybe that shift is going to come in your life. But only maybe, I say, because what people do is they only say great things about their life when they wake up and go to sleep. They learn this whole idea of manifestation and abundance from here and there, and then they apply it only here and there. See, you have to apply it in every area of your life. You have to is you know end up doing this exercise not to the fullest. You learn about manifestation and abundance from here and there, and then you think that manifestation is some tool I can manifest by simply saying great things, but you don't believe in them. So that is why I don't really talk about manifestation as such, because it's more of uh, a change of mindset that I talk about here. Once you change your mindset, once you become more stable in your thinking, what's going to happen is you're going to manifest easily. Manifestation is a very easy part. The only problem is that the change of mindset is a difficult one. So, what people do is they learn about manifestation, they learn about abundance, and then they talk about these things, oh, I am going to get a lot of money. I'm going to get a lot of, abundance in my life. I'm going to get a great partner. They talk about these things, verbally every day when they wake up. They don't believe in it. And then the day happens to them and they get irritated and worked up small little things and people around them, and they go back onto their old pattern of thinking. So they've not really changed their mindset. They've only worked upon manifestation and abundance on a very small level, and then their life doesn't change. And they say, oh, manifestation doesn't really work, abundance doesn't really work. Why do you want to do this trickery in your life? Rather become spiritual, rather become centered, start tapping onto that divine consciousness, start tapping onto that abundance, and let it work in every area of your life. You have to become emotionally and mentally stable here, and everything will work out for you. You don't have to speak out the things that you want. You just have to say it once and let it go, and things will work out for you. It's just that you have never tapped on to the divine consciousness, and now you just assume that if I say certain words and certain things, then things are going to work out for me. And no, that is not how they work. Maybe for a while, or maybe on small little things, because you had a connection with the divine at that point of time. You were very, very centered, so it happened to you. But other than that, it's not going to work out for you. It's not going to work out on a continuous level. If you want to feel that wellness on a continuous level, if you want to feel stable in your mind, then you have to tap into the divine consciousness. And how do you tap in? There's no other way except meditation. There's no other way except stillness, because that's the only way you get a direct connection with the divine consciousness. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to visit any place. You do not have to visit any person in particular who tells you, oh, I'm going to make a connection with you and God, possible. No, that connection with God is possible right in your house. You sit there in 15 minutes of stillness, close your eyes, listen to some great music, and that 15 minutes is going to give you that superpower. You have the ability to tap onto that superpower of yours, because God has given you it. Is there for you to tap into it. So we think that we cannot connect with God directly. We have to do a certain thing. We have to meet a certain person. Or we have to do certain rituals. Yes, those rituals are there for you to become more stable in your thinking, but at the end of the day, they are all leading on to one thing, and that is a stillness or thoughtlessness of your mind. Now, if you understand that, if you sit for 15 minutes, let me tell you, your life is going to flow. It's going to flow like anything. You will not have any stoppages. Everything will work out for you, and you will be in for some beautiful surprises in this life of yours. And I've experienced it, so I can tell you, but of course, I cannot tell you like I did this and this happened, because when you become conscious of your thought process, you don't go and look into, oh, these miracles happened to me, and then you don't talk about them, because you know that it's a continuous process. You know that it's not something that God did for me because I did this. That doesn't matter. All of these miracles, yes, we are loving them, we are enjoying them here, but we are not really paying attention to them, because we are paying attention to a connection with the divine. We are paying attention to that stability, that feeling of joy and wellness, because that is what matters to me. It matters that I am in absolute connection with the divine. It doesn't matter what the divine is giving my way, passing on these beautiful miracles, because yes, miracles have happened in my life. I have experienced those miracles, and that is why I'm sitting here and talking about how you can achieve a life of well being and ease. But you have to let go. You have to let go of this clingy feeling that you have in your life. So, let's talk about what all great things are going to happen to you when you let go of those emotions. The first thing that's going to happen in your life is that new doors are going to open for you. New opportunities are going to come your way. Maybe you will just get surprised, by getting into a new job. Something will happen for you that you didn't think was possible. Most unexpected of doors are going to open for you. And it's the most wonderful thing. Once you tap into that abundance, you realize that there are a lot of opportunities that had been just waiting for you. And you had been denying yourself those opportunities because you've been saying no to the divine. Now it's time for you to say yes. It's time. Something unexpected is going to happen in your life in terms of how people have been treating you. They are going to treat you well. They are going to have a change in their behavior, and you're going to see this, and you're going to experience it. And don't get alarmed, because suddenly you will find the person who had been mistreating you or misbehaving with you just doing a u-turn, and you will simply feel like this is not real, but that is going to be very, very real. You're going to experience it once you let go of all the expectations, once you forgive them, once you bless them, once you get into that zone of abundance. You're going to find that people are going to behave a lot better with you. So, whenever you let go of all the control and you start trusting the divine process, something wonderful is going to happen with you, and that is you are going to start trusting yourself. You will find yourself trusting that divine process and that divine timing. You will not get perturbed when things are not going to work out for you. So let's say there is a delay in some area of your life and that's been troubling you, that's been giving you a lot of stress. Now you simply let go. You simply let go of all the control because things are not in your control. And you start trusting the divine process. Now once you do that, once you let go of that control, you're going to find that things are going to move at a very, very fast pace. And till now, whatever was stuck in your life is going to move. Things are going to move in your life. Your life is going to transform itself. You did nothing. If at that point in your life when you told yourself, I cannot control this anymore, this is not in my control, so I am trusting the divine and I am trusting that God has my back. And once you start saying that, once you start believing in that abundant energy around you, once you start believing in divine consciousness, what's going to happen is the things are going to move and they're going to move in the most unexpected ways. You will be in for some surprises in your life. You're going to find that your life is going to transform. You're going to find a lot of abundance coming your way. Things are going to get so much better. So it's time for you to start trusting in the divine process because at the end of the day, we all want to lead a better life. So if you love my vlog, do like, share, and subscribe and comment down below. And thank you for watching and see you in the next one.